pointing on other people, telling them what they do wrong. What's the right type of spiritual expression? How should you be? How should you look like? How should you behave in order to be truly spiritual? Welcome to the new year here on my channel. During the 12 midwinter nights, Rauhnächte, as we call it in Austria, I had time to reflect about important things, diving deep into soul space and into the spirit world. This is Rune Einhwaz, my rune for the year 2026. It is a rune which leads into depth, a bridge between the worlds. It inspired me to talk about more difficult subjects again, which reflect the core of my channel, owning our natural individual spirituality. At the beginning of January, it got very cold. We went Nordic skiing, here at the eastern side of the Alps, exposing ourselves to the forces of nature, to its beauty and its hardships. I was proud of myself to be able to endure. This reminded me of my soul path, my life path, and also what I experienced in the spiritual scene. The good things and the bad things. I got the impulse to talk about a form of spiritual abuse, which is very common. I will uncover the different facets of spiritual righteousness, and I will give keys for our individual spiritual empowerment. There is one thing in the spiritual scene which makes me sad and also a bit angry, and this is people wanting to define for other people which kind of spirituality is right. What's the right type of spiritual expression? How should you be? How should you look like? How should you behave in order to be truly spiritual? And this I find not only in churches or cults or strict spiritual methods, but this I find basically everywhere. I see it in women's circles, I see it in alternative communities, and of course I see it very often in social media. So how does this look like? People wanting to define the right kind of spirituality for other people. This can have many facets. There doesn't have to be a dogma spoken out in words. First example, only if you open up emotionally in a dramatic way, only if you show your emotions intensely in front of this group, and if you tell this group about all your problems and struggles and work through your emotions and be connected with your heart space, only this is the pathway to true spirituality. Or sometimes it goes the other way around. Only if you are even-tempered, only if you let go of your ego and all your emotions, bad and good, only if you can master this, only then you are a truly spiritual person. So it can be both sides, and sometimes it's combined. Sometimes people say only if you open up first and submit emotionally to this group and then lose your ego, only then you are truly spiritual. Second example, only if you constantly improve yourself, only if you submit yourself constantly to transformation processes, only if you work on yourself and try to become better and better and more pure and more holy and more whatever, only then you become a truly spiritual person. And again, the other way around is also possible. Especially here in Austria and Germany, I stumble across this a lot. Today I even read about that in a Facebook group. A woman writing spirituality. She wrote about shamanism. Yeah, spirituality is not about improving yourself. It's not about the ego. It's not about becoming better and better. It's the opposite. If you still try to improve yourself, work on yourself, try to, realize all your potentials, this is not true spirituality. No, no. And sometimes even this is combined also. It can be combined. You won't believe me, but it can be combined. People saying, okay, first you improve yourself step by step, and then you let go of everything. And once you have reached this level, then you're truly spiritual. Yeah. Third example. Only if you follow this one old path, this tradition, this truly proven method, this holy narrative, which by the way I follow, only if you follow this, then you are a truly spiritual person. And again, the other way around, people saying, oh no, no, no traditions. Only if you are truly progressive, only if you are constantly on the edge of spiritual development, on the edge of something new which is emerging, only if you follow this and only if you incorporate this, then you are a truly spiritual person. And of course, this can be combined also in a way. People always come up with explanations why things can be combined and be right the way they think it is right. Fourth example, and this goes hand in hand quite often with the other examples, and this is pointing on other people like this, with this moral attitude, pointing like this on other people or on society, like I do it now. By the way, I also do this in the video a bit. I'm included, I include myself. It's not that I'm the good person who always stands, oh no, I never judge other people. No. Pointing on other people, telling them what they do wrong. And while you are doing this, you raise yourself up to a position of spiritual authority. So pointing on other people and telling them what they do wrong at the same time suggests that you are of a higher authority because you are able to point on this. you must follow this method. Only if you meditate this way, then you will become a truly spiritual person. I know it from people who do Zen meditation, for example. In their eyes, it's only, not all Zen people are like this, by the way, yeah, but I know some people who do this, yeah. They say, okay, only if you meditate in this one strict way, sitting like this, your mind being like this, yeah, your ego letting go, that's the right form of spirituality. In shamanism, I heard people saying only if you wear antlers on your head and dress in a certain way and get into a trance state with those kind of drum, yeah, only if you use those type of methods or clothing or ritual material or whatever, only if you do it like this and not in another way, only then it's an inner journey, it's trance, and you can get in contact with soul space and things like this. And of course, this is not true. I know it from myself that I can get into trance states in various ways and with different methods. It's not only one method. It's not only one type of expression, one type of clothing, one type of ritual you do. The rituals you do, they can be shamanic, they can be also other types of rituals from another tradition or a ritual that you invent. It doesn't mean that if you use only this one form, then only then it can be intense and only then it's real and only then it's true and only then it's deep and only then it's spiritual. And it doesn't only depend on the method, it often depends on the person and on your spiritual gifts. Some people, they easily get into a trance state and they have a rich inner world and they can dive into their soul space and get in contact with the transcendent and with their intuition easily because it's their personality, it's how they are born, it's like a gift they have, a talent. And this is true for spirituality like it is true in any other area of life. So it's important to look at yourself and to see what kind of spiritual gifts do I have. Another way people point on other people like this is with ethics, morals, combined with certain political beliefs and ideologies. So they say if you're a truly spiritual person, you should have this or that political belief. You should stand up for those kind of things. You should go out into the world and you should say, no, this is wrong or that is wrong and we should do this and we should do that and only this is morally correct and only that is ethical and so on and so on. Yes, there is a tradition that morals and ethics are often combined with religion, but not necessarily with spirituality. I believe that spirituality is not per se a moral or ethical space. Another way people point like this on other people. You must carry your spirituality very actively out into the world. You must be of service. Some people who are very active and extroverted naturally, for them this is the right spiritual path to stand very actively in society and to do things, to lead a spiritual seminar house, for example, yeah, to help other people to become healthier and so on and so on, to lead seminars. But not everybody is this doing, extroverted, connecting, talking person. In our society, this is valued a lot, this being actively in the world. And it's too much valued, it's overvalued. What our society needs is more people contemplating, more people being connected with soul space again, and not doing, acting all the time out there in the world. Yeah, we have enough of those people in our Western societies. We need more people who are reflective, who live a more contemplative and mystic life again. And this was also very, very difficult for me, like always to hear people telling me, so if you're spiritual, then you must do this, and then you must go out and you must help those people. And why don't you do this? And why don't you talk more about it? Why aren't you more active? You could go to hospitals and help people. You could do this and could do that and this and that and this and that. Yeah. Intuitively, we all know that we don't like this. Yeah, other people doing this to us. We know this intuitively, emotionally. I don't have to explain this. But why is it harmful on a bigger scale for individuals and also for us collectively? If you are told all the time, like only this is correct and how you are naturally is kind of wrong, yeah, or not really ethically correct, it's not moral, it's not the right path, it's somehow wrong. If you are told this the whole time, then it's much more difficult for you to value your own natural spirituality, to value your own spiritual being, and to develop those spiritual competencies and resources which come most easy to you and most natural to you. So, for example, if people tell you you must go out and be active all the time as a spiritual person, you must be of service and you must do coachings and you must do this and that. If you're told this all the time, but your natural way of being spiritual is more this getting into trance states, receiving visions, and maybe being creative, painting or writing or creating art about it, even if you think that you are right, you will not be valued enough by society, or social groups might prevent you from engaging in your individual way. And this is where the harmfulness for society comes in. Everything will become very one-sided. It prevents this wholeness because we as a collective, we consist of different individual beings. And if every individual being can individuate and can develop his or her spiritual resources and live according to his or her soul path, then it's good for society. I believe there is a deeper meaning. Everybody is meant to be for something. And often we don't know this consciously. It's just how we are. It's what comes out of our eyes. It's what comes out of our mouth, what comes out of our whole expression as human beings. So most of the time we are not consciously aware of our true gifts and of what we are meant to be. It unfolds while we are living, usually. So yeah, and also being spiritual can look differently on the outside. Like some people, they are more emotional, and their path is the path of the heart and the path of connection with other people. But for other people, it's different. For some people, it's the intellectual path. They are very intellectual and they go the path of wisdom, the path of understanding. And this is their primary way to connect with spirituality. And you know those people who know all the books and who love to read and who know all the spiritual narratives and who know it in detail. And if you tell those people, no, only if you connect with your heart and you express yourself in a dramatic way, only if you do this and don't think so much, don't think so much. If you tell this to those type of people in some collectives, they cannot really find their place. Being in service for others with your spirituality can look very different. Not everybody has to be a coach. Not everybody has to lead seminars or women's circles. Not everybody has to state his or her political beliefs. Not everybody has to meditate in a certain way. For some people, meditating, sitting and meditating, yeah, is a thing. For other people, their meditation is to walk through the forest and talk with the trees. Not everybody has to speak in a certain way. Some people, some very spiritual people I know, they are not able to talk so much about their spirituality. So not everybody talks. Some people express it with art, and some other people, they express it with their being, with how they are in the world, with how they connect with everything, with just how they are. Now I come to the end of this video, and at the end of my videos I usually show the symbols of the video. This card and this rune. Those are the two symbols of this video. It's called Rune Einhwaz. Einhwaz. And this is my rune of the year. It inspired me for this video because last year I had Rune Wunyo and it was a quite light-hearted rune. And this rune it's a bit the opposite. It's a rune which leads into depth. This rune Einhwaz connects between the worlds. It connects between our material world and the spirit world. It's a rune for traveling between states and traveling between worlds. And it's also a bridge. I see many things which happen there and there. I go back and forth and I explain what I see. So with this rune, I will bring those subjects more into my YouTube channel this year. So it will be a little bit more dense and deep than last year, but maybe also more interesting. Who knows? Second symbol is this card. It's the Fool. It's the very first card, which even comes before the first card. Yeah, it's card 0. And this means with this card, a new cycle begins. And the Fool is very important for this subject because he stands for openness, freedom, creativity, independence, childlike wonder. He goes into new adventures and new endeavors with this open mind. It's also about taking risks. So for me, it's about, okay, I talk about difficult subjects, and it's more risky than talking on my channel only about nice things, like how I paint my runes, or how I celebrate Rauhnächte, or how I travel through the world and what findings do I have. It's more of a risk to talk about difficult subjects and to criticize. So it's about taking risks. It's also about having fun while doing this. It's the god Dionysos, the power of nature. You see it with the green color. And I also wear something green today, a green dress, and I have green candles. And Dionysos, he has this force of nature and joy, but also indulging and depth. He's also the god of the wine, by the way. You see, he has this umbilical cord. It's the cord which connects a baby with the mother inside the womb. And on this card, this means that he's connected with the whole universe, with soul space and with the transcendent in a very natural way, because he's open-minded. He doesn't think, okay, I have to follow this rule and this regulation. I have to do it this way so that it's right. No, he's just connected. He just is connected with spirituality. It's the natural flow, the natural connection with soul space and our spirituality. I just want to remind you that, like him, you are already connected with soul space and with your right type of spirituality. Card 0. It's all inside you. Thank you for listening.
Tides are flushing over the sands of time. Ties are made and broken. Who knows what's yours or mine? And who knows what made us shine? Thousands of words are spoken, thousands were left inside. But you knew that I knew, that you knew that I'd reply. And so we laid side by side. And how did you know to change my brass to gold, and to release me with your timid soul? You were looking for the light, so I offered you warmth. Oh, but that wasn't enough.